What's going on, everyone? Yesterday, we had the most shocking, surprising news that came out about LeBron James. LeBron James was at the ESPYs and announced that he is returning for his 21st season. That is right. He is not retiring. I know nobody saw that coming. I know everybody thought that was it. He was absolutely retiring, but nope. In a shocking surprise and a real significant moment at the ESPYs, he announced that he is not retiring. And I, as a Laker fan, am very happy, very thankful, because I really do believe the Lakers have a chance at an NBA championship. But on a serious note, look, LeBron James, nobody thought he was retiring. I don't know why they had to have this big stage and he gave this big speech, and it was just kind of silly to me. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Look, LeBron James, he's not getting any older, right? He's only getting younger. He clearly is aging backwards. So he's good, right? He's ready to go. But with this roster, LeBron is in a position to where he can just kind of focus on him and focus on making the guys around him better, playing more team basketball, which we saw him be able to do this past season, right? He was very passive and very willing to take a step back, and at times even just let Austin Reeves take the reins and let him take over and let him go to work, which was incredibly surprising at times down the stretch of games. In that Memphis series in game 1, right? LeBron wasn't the one that closed that game out. It was Austin Reeves. And with this roster and the depth and the talent, I really do believe that he's going to continue to do that. He has said himself on numerous occasions that that's what he wants. He wants to play off the ball more. He doesn't want to have to be this huge force that he was in the past. And look, I do believe that if we had the LeBron James before injury, I actually think we beat Denver and actually think we win the NBA championship, because look, we lost that entire series. The entire series was decided by 24 points. We had, before LeBron James was trying to go get that scoring title, LeBron James, I absolutely, without a doubt, believe that we, even if we didn't win, had a much better chance, right? We'll put it like that. We'll be kinder, right? But unfortunately, that's not what happened. And he chased that illustrious scoring title, which I don't really blame him for. I know some Laker fans and some people are upset about that and feel like, you blew the opportunity to win a championship because of that. But there's no way we knew that, right? If LeBron could have saw the future, I don't think LeBron would have chased that. I think he would have just kind of kept them afloat, kept himself afloat until Rob Pelinka made those trades. But he didn't know that. He didn't know what was going to happen. And the way he was looking at it is like, we're probably not even going to make the playoffs, so I might as well just go for this. I might as well go get this scoring title. But now, this year, I don't think he's going to be that guy. I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron averages 20 points per game this year. Seriously, he's going to get his double digits. He's probably going to play around, 65 games, because I do think he's going to want to get some of those accolades. So I think just by rule of the league, he's going to have to play 65 games. But I think he just coasts more than we've ever seen him coast. I think he plays 30 minutes a game. I wouldn't even be surprised if he plays less, right? I guarantee you he's looking at this roster. I mean, he's already kind of giving you signs and clues of that. But I think he's looking at this roster and going like, we're like, this is my chance, right? Like, we were just in the Western Conference Finals and we got better, right? Like, let me go stay healthy throughout the course of the season, get to the playoffs, and let's go win a title, right? Because that's all he has left to chase is just titles. And I really do think that this Lakers roster gives him the best opportunity. This might be, front to back, the best Lakers roster that LeBron has had. Like, our 2020 roster was really good, but they weren't as deep as this roster, right? Now, the Lakers still need another center. That would really give me some confidence on the Lakers roster. That 2020 team wasn't as big as this Lakers team was, right? This Lakers team front to back is much bigger. I mean, our smallest player on this roster is Gabe Vincent at 6'3", right? Also, front to back, this roster is deeper, right? Like, the front half of the Lakers roster was really good, right? Like, that Lakers roster was 9 to 10 guys, like legitimately deep, right? You had what? You had LeBron, you had Caruso, you had AD, you had Danny Green, you had Kyle Kuzma, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee. We ended up getting Marcus Morris, right, at some point. But like you look at like the back half of that roster, and it was like Quinn Cook. Who else was on that roster? It was like we had Troy Daniels, guys like that, right? Like where you look at this roster, and it's like this roster is legit, like 13 guys deep, right? And just bigger, more versatile. Where that roster, like most of our guys, like key quality guys, they were guards, right? It was like Avery Bradley, it was Danny Green, it was Rajon Rondo, Alex Caruso, right? Like those guys, like we had 5 or 6 guards that were like the main guards on the roster, right? Even J.R. Smith, like those kind of things were like our main guys on the roster. Where this one, it's a lot of just perimeter guys, right? You got Rui Hachimura, you got Jared Vanderbilt, you got Taurean Prince, you got Cam Reddish, right? You got a guy in Jackson Hayes who is basically a younger JaVale McGee, right? You got Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis and LeBron James were younger, they were healthier, right? So there's other factors, but when you look at this roster, this might be the best front-to-back roster that the Lakers have. Right? Like the Lakers didn't have, like, as much as people like to clown and sort of hate on D'Angelo Russell, the Lakers didn't have anywhere close to a D'Angelo Russell type guy. Austin Reeves is a better Caruso, right? Maybe not defensively, but just overall game, yes. That Lakers roster didn't have a Rui Hachimura. The closest thing was Kyle Kuzma, right? And they didn't have like a Taurean Prince. Like it's just, this is a bigger version of the 2020 roster. Again, still need another center, but I like where we're at. And this, I mean, you can make an argument this might be the deepest roster LeBron has ever had, period. Right? Because like even like the Cleveland teams were very front loaded, right? They were very front heavy, right? Because he had the big threes. The Miami, same thing. They had the big threes. A lot of like older guys, like yes, they were names on the roster, but a lot of them were past their prime. A lot of them were just older, right? Same thing. I mean, even in the 2020 roster, right? We had Dwight Howard, and you had a JaVale McGee, and you had a Rajon Rondo, and you had guys like that, but they were all, I mean, Rondo at times was nearly unplayable in the regular season. Then we just got playoff Rondo, and that became something completely different. And then when we got to the playoffs, we didn't even have Avery Bradley, right? So I like what this roster. Now, the 2020 roster had something that this Lakers roster needs to achieve in order to be better than that. And that is just the relationship, the camaraderie, the chemistry, all of that. Like that 2020 roster was just really tight knit. Everyone loved each other. They played for each other. Like that was as much of a team as you could ever see. Like, if you want a great example of a team, like front-to-back team, that 2020 roster was that. But they built all that in a year anyway, right? So it's not unfathomable to think that this Lakers roster can do the same thing, especially when the core guys were already there, right? You had Austin Reeves, who's been with LeBron and Anthony Davis for 2 years now, going into his third year. D'Lo had, 20 games or whatever it was. Same thing with Vanderbilt and Rui. These guys are guys that, they have that experience. They have that understanding of what they need to do. And they made it to the Western Conference Finals. There is no way LeBron looks at this roster and isn't just licking his chops. But we're also going to need Anthony Davis to really step up, right? Anthony Davis, it's like, when is he going to take that number one reins? Look, Austin Reeves will gladly take it, but he's not the number one guy on a championship contender, right? I absolutely think he could be, I mean, he might end up being our like second best player over the course of the regular season, right? Like, because again, I could really see LeBron James taking a step back, and I could see like D'Lo and Reeves kind of making that step to kind of make up for LeBron kind of coasting, right? So he can stay healthy, he can stay fresh, and then he can turn it up a notch come the playoffs. but we need Anthony Davis to be that guy. We need Anthony Davis to be that Anthony Davis we saw for like 3 weeks or whatever, 2 weeks, where he was arguably the best player in the world and he was just a monster. I'm not saying he has to go and give you 30 every single night, but like he led the league in 30 and 15 games. He led the league in 35 and 15 games. Like I'm okay with team basketball. Right? Like I'm okay. Like if LeBron gives you 20 a night and Anthony Davis gives you say 23 a night, right? And he's playing defense, and you have Reeves giving you 15, you have D'Lo giving you 17, you have Rui giving you 15, and you have everyone else contributing 10 points or whatever. And it's like you're winning by committee, then fine. I'm okay with that. Right? Again, I the only thing I care about is winning. Like win the games. If Anthony Davis and LeBron James only have to score 10 points a night for you to win, then fine. Right? Go get that. I don't need Anthony Davis to go give me 40 just to prove that he can give you 40 and the Lakers are losing. Right? Like how many times last year did Anthony Davis have a monster game or LeBron James have a monster game and the Lakers lost? Right? I don't care what LeBron and AD stats are, especially with them trying to be healthy come the playoffs. But there are going to be those games, there are going to be those moments where you're going to need that guy, right? Down the stretch, you're down 5. Who's taking over this game? That's where I need Anthony Davis to be. Give me the ball. Let me go to work. Get out of my way. That's when I need to see Anthony Davis step up. You know, if the Lakers win 60 games and Anthony Davis averages 15 and 10 and LeBron averages, 15, 5 and 5, okay, I don't care. If we win 60 games, fine. But again, if there is that game where, hey, we need the big dog. Come on, let's go. Go close this out. Go finish. Because my biggest concern with this Lakers roster is the lack of closing. Right? We saw Austin Reeves be able to do it in moments and stretches, even D'Lo in moments and stretches. But like when we got to that Denver series, we didn't have anybody. Right? Like, and LeBron, he didn't really have it. Anthony Davis, he didn't really have it. We need Anthony Davis to be that guy. Anthony Davis was that guy in the 2020 season, right? I mean, he was hitting game winners and everything, right? We need him to be that again. If he's that, the Lakers win the championship this year. Seriously, if Anthony Davis is 2020 Anthony Davis, nobody's beating this Lakers team. Nobody. There's nobody in the West, even with average Anthony Davis. I think the Lakers could win a championship this year, right? But if you give me 2020 Anthony Davis, who was able to close down the stretch, take over games, be arguably the best player on the court every single night, you give me that Anthony Davis, nobody's beating this Lakers team. I'm telling you, not in a 7-game series. You're not beating this Lakers team. But can he do that? That's probably the biggest question mark. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Agree with my conversation, my points? Do you not? How do you feel? What are your thoughts are? Let me know.